city, it's very hard to find Dutch food. It's quite flat, it's quite boring food.
What happens when a country loses touch with its own food? When the traditions of the past are resurrected by an underground movement of the future? A culinary adventure in one of the world's great avant-garde cities, Amsterdam. I came to Amsterdam to do what I do when I visit any new city, to check out the local cuisine, true Dutch cuisine. Frankly, something I haven't heard a whole lot about. As one of the world's great seafaring nations, the Netherlands have always had an international flavor to them, with ships returning from all over the globe full of cultures and customs and flavors. Today, the streets and canals are lined with the global cafe. Ireland, Argentina, Lebanon, France, Italy. But where's all the local stuff? I heard about a Dutch treat that's been served for centuries at fairs and markets, bakeries, and family tables. The traditional stroopwafel. Hi, you're a busy guy.
Yes, yes.
Are these unique to Holland? Is it just a Dutch thing?
That's all. Yeah.
Is it?
I stay for 28 years.
You've been here for 28 years?
Yeah.
What's the flavor in there?
Cinnamon, it's cane sugar.
A sugar syrup. It's a little bit messy, isn't it? So I'm walking all over Amsterdam looking for some local Dutch food, and I finally find some, and it's really tasty. But then the next thing I find, a sign that says it's forbidden. Probably because of all this dripping syrup. But what's more important, food or shoes? Around here, maybe the shoes. Apparently, that stroopwafel stand is the last one left standing in Amsterdam. Hi. Thank you. I have no idea what these are, but they look like bar snacks. It's kind of a little fried cheese ball. It's got gooey cheese inside, it's crisp outside.
Ossenworst?
Ossenworst, a sausage? Bitterballs, which I tried one. It has cheese inside.
Yeah.
Traditional bar snacks, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cheers. Dutch cuisine is proving elusive. A single stroopwafel stand and some traditional snacks in a pub that's closing next month. Flipping through the guidebooks, I could only find one restaurant ad that even included the word Dutch. Howdy.
Hello,
Chef Michael.
I'm Sander.
A unique place to find a restaurant.
Thank you. Yeah. We all designed it ourselves.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a hell of a space.
It is.
It's very
It is.
cool.
And yeah, you can make your own, design your own dream.
I love the oven. Look at that.
Yeah, we don't use it for pizzas. We use it for the breads and the vegetables and the fish.
Just nice and simple and
Yeah.
rustic.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these plates back here. Is that what you're putting the food on?
Yeah, pretty
that's
much
really
everything.
nice.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful stove. I wouldn't mind having that in my house. But I have to say, I've been in Amsterdam for a little while now, and I'm having a hard time finding authentic Dutch food.
We try to make some nice original Dutch dishes here, but pure Dutch food is hard to find.
How come?
Well, we don't have a really food culture. We do, but it got lost. It was really labor food.
Yeah.
Here it was just potatoes, vegetables, preferably cooked together with some beef, some gravy,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
I found some really good waffles. So how many of your ingredients actually come from Holland?
Depends on the season. Summertime quite a lot. Fish comes a lot from the North Sea. We also work a lot with local farmers.
Where did this love for food come
Yeah.
from? How'd you become a chef?
I don't know, to be honest. Seriously, because I didn't get it from my parents or from my mother because she wasn't a great cook. And maybe this was a reason I wanted to eat better food.
This is my first taste of some real traditional
Dutch.
Dutch food right here.
Yeah.
You gotta try some too, chef. This is always such a great way to cook fish too.
Yeah.
It just keeps all the moisture inside, and everybody thinks it's gonna be salty too when you cook it that way. No, it never is.
Well,
Perfect. What do you think it would take for Dutch cuisine to become more mainstream, to become more accepted?
I think it's not going to happen.
It sort of feels like Amsterdam has lost its own culinary identity, so I'm not surprised to discover that a movement has sprung up to find it. But it's not a movement that's being led by chefs. I came to Amsterdam looking for Dutch cuisine, which has been hard to find in the usual places. I've turned up a tray of bar food, a couple of waffles, and the last guy in Amsterdam serving them, and a single chef struggling to revive the ways of the past. But in a city known globally for its extreme artistic edge, for creative expression, I may need to broaden my search to look beyond the obvious. Arnett, I'm Michael.
Hello, nice to meet you.
So I found Platform 21. What is this?
Platform 21 is a center for innovation, design, creativity. Different artists and designers are looking into different aspects of ingredients.
Have you ever tagged with edible ingredients before?
No, actually, this for me is the first time to do it with sugar or with food, as you can say.
Cool. It looks beautiful.
Thanks.
What is this? How does this work?
It's basically just an apple.
I got that part.
That part you got. With a contact microphone stuck into it.
So the idea is to just sort of eat the apple or play with the apple and
yeah.
play with what you can do here and just see what happens.
Exactly.
I love this. The key here is fun. It's got to be.
Well, it's fun first, but as you're working with these ingredients, it becomes more than just fun. You start to get to know these ingredients and you learn more about them. And when you learn more about them, you use them in different ways. And I guess that's a key element to this exhibition, is to become aware.
This is brilliant. Obviously, a lot of people around here didn't listen to their mom when they said, don't play with your food.
No.
Certainly the healthiest performance art I've ever seen. Congratulations. Really. Very, very cool. My pleasure. It's not that I haven't played with food my entire career, but for me, that was always on the way to the plate. But for all of these artists, the ingredients are their palate. Artists look at the world through a different lens, with a creative perspective. It's not what you can see, it's what you can imagine. Hi there, I'm Michael.
Hi, Mariah.
Mariah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I've met chefs with varying backgrounds, but certainly never somebody in the world of food who came from the world of design first.
I'm a bit a crossing border of design and food world, which is a nice place to be in.
Yeah. So all of this began as a way to present a ham tasting.
Yeah. And I really love the idea of using ham because it's really an ancient product, and the dried ham is the best way to preserve a food.
Sure.
And present them in a way that nobody has ever seen before.
So why not have him standing up and celebrating the ham?
Yeah.
He looks like a pig here, sort of.
He's wearing the ham. He's somewhere in between human and animal. I kind of like this.
Yeah. Can I give you a hand?
Yes, please.
Tell you what, I'll do all the high ones.
Okay.
You should put them on again. Would you say that you have a philosophy behind all of this?
I'm trained as a product designer, so I should be making products, tables, chairs, planes, cars, clothes. And I'm really happy that I can actually use my creativity to do things that don't last and that go inside your body. And that's just crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm making a design, and after a while you bring my design to the toilet. I love that idea. It's just wonderful.
I didn't quite know what to expect when I got to Amsterdam, but Somehow I'm not surprised to find myself 10 feet off the floor sticking beautiful local ham into a giant block of styrofoam shaped like a man. Amsterdam.
I think especially Dutch people really forgot about where their food comes from, and they also forgot about what the quality of their own ground is and what can come out of that. I do want to enthusiast people to open their eyes for what's right under their nose.
This is what cuisine is all about, you know, cooking with what's around you. So you sound like a chef.
Well, maybe you're a designer.
That could be. So where do you actually do all of this? Where do you put all of your work together?
Well, we have a studio. Do you want to see it?
I'd love to see it. See you later, Ham Man. Didn't your mom tell you not to play with your food when you were a kid?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she also said, it doesn't matter what it looks like, because in your stomach it all looks the same.
Yeah. I came to Amsterdam to explore Dutch cuisine. Not because I've heard so much about it, but because I've heard so little. As it turns out, true Dutch food was hard to find. Until I stumbled upon an underground movement of food artists led by a provocative designer. Why do you think it's so hard to find a Dutch restaurant in Amsterdam?
People are not proud of their Dutch food culture, or they think there is nothing. Oh, they all want Italian food.
So where are we headed?
Well, we're going to the studio, but I also want to show you this really nice farmers market.
So is this the sort of thing that you would see in the average Dutch market?
No, less varieties, and not this thing like the dirty carrots that you see in the back, and the parsnip and the black salsify. That's really something quite rare.
Now, when I go to a farmer's market, I sort of look at this through a chef's eyes. But you're a designer, so what are you seeing here?
When I think of food as a designer, I can think of what it does to your senses, your taste and your visuals, but also your hearing or your smell. All the influences that food have on your body, that you can actually fine-tune your body by choosing the food that you put into it as a fuel. The rituals of food, or of the cultures of food. You can think of that food is just a material and a substance that you can shape. Do you share it with somebody? Do you actually feed somebody? That's a really strange thing to do as well.
Celery root. Is this a very popular vegetable here?
Yeah. But people don't use it anymore.
No?
A lot of people that are around their 50s in Holland, they have really bad memories on these things because their mothers, they cooked these things for hours.
Sure.
and it was horrible. There is the opening for me to show people where they come from and what comes from their soil. I really like it that they come from underneath the ground. It's like you really pull it out of your own ground that you stand on. People think of it as just a root vegetable, so that's why I feel a bit sorry for them.
I understand. I do. Food is something that everybody understands, so it's as if there's no barrier to entry for you and the person that's enjoying your art.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Design culture in Holland is very highly regarded in the world. So that together with the big open field of food, this is a perfect place to be.
Amazing space. I've seen a lot of interesting kitchens and restaurants, but this is a first. A restaurant / design studio / kitchen all in one. All this inspired by Mariah's vision to resurrect and share and celebrate Dutch ingredients. Hi, Ariana.
Hello.
Michael, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So tonight's menu is sort of traditional Dutch?
8 different types of forgotten vegetables, as it's called here. So vegetables that aren't used on a regular basis anymore. And a lot of people don't know how to cook with them.
No kidding. Salsify is not a mainstream vegetable. You don't see this very often.
No, it's actually considered to be a poor man's food here.
Yeah, it's really nice. Always reminds me of asparagus.
Yeah.
So what's actually happening tonight?
We have a little party and we want to celebrate traditional Dutch ingredients. And there's also one thing I want to try out for the first time. This is a mold and we make a little chocolate cup.
Okay.
And then we fill it up with nice things, but then we make a little lid on it, a chocolate lid. And then we will serve it and then we put the light on it and maybe the light will melt the lid and then we'll reveal what is inside.
What's inside?
Yeah.
Awesome.
doing a feature on food design, and we're focusing on Mariah. And she is one of sort of many Dutch designers who has a very conceptual approach to design. And we're interested in why Mariah's chosen food, why she hasn't chosen jewellery, why not product design or industrial design, why she's chosen food.
I'm really happy that I'm not stuffing the world with any more products, with any more chairs, with any more tables, and that actually it's just gone, and that it's a part of everybody, takes a bit within the person. Because I do think that you are what you eat. So if you eat my stuff, you're a little bit of my idea, and it's
Sure.
I like that.
Stay like that, and just relax your mouth and stay in that position. That's good. Stay like that. Oh, that's nice. Stay like that. That's lovely. Stay like that.
How does it feel having a sugar gun in your mouth?
Well, it's a lollipop, really. It's actually just a visualization of what sugar does to your body.
As an eating designer, Mariah considers far more than just ingredients and flavor. Her vision extends from the kitchen to the table to the mouth. We're arranging root vegetables on the table, which are a very traditional part of Dutch cooking. Root vegetables are one of the foundations of Dutch cooking. Of course, it's not that traditional to arrange them directly on the table. It is beautiful though, and I guess that's where design and food come together.
The food is already designed by nature very well, so that's why I try to be called an eating designer instead of a food designer, because it's more about the verb of eating.
Of course, for any form of art to be truly complete, it has to be enjoyed, it has to be consumed, or in this case, it has to be eaten. Prof Restaurant is a sort of edible art gallery in Amsterdam, and the only place in town where I could find true Dutch cuisine.
I bless you, my son.
An edible greeting, really.
Yeah, so I wish them a long life, but on the same hand, I also always like to use every part of a product. And we use the apples later on in the dessert, so.
I wish you a long and happy life.
Thank you. And happy life.
Thank you. Before the guests sit down at the table this evening, they're enjoying an hors d'oeuvre of sorts, which is actually a pastry leaf that's being cooked on a tree, on the light bulbs that are part of the tree. The pastry is actually flavored with almonds, with cinnamon, with cloves, with vanilla, and it's served by dipping it into yogurt. It's a wonderful start to the meal.
Willen jullie gaan zitten aan de tafel? Dan komt de eerste gang eraan. Bedien jezelf van wijn en water.
The first course is the perfect example of how Mariah's artistic expression is realized at the table. Design, the half plate. Food, traditional Dutch salted herring with local pickled onions. And last but not least, the experience.
One person at the table gets this plate and the other person gets this plate. And because it's such a traditional combination, people will start to share.
So you haven't said a thing. Just let them figure it out all by themselves.
Yeah, that's really great. And it's funny because we've been doing this for different groups over the time, and it always works.
Yeah, it gets everybody interacting.
Yeah, and people also like to do something, a conversation piece.
Sure. Yeah, there's sort of a layer of hospitality to it. Everybody just naturally figured it out. Hi, I'm your bread roll. Make me hollow with your hands and go to the cook to get some stew to put in your homemade bowl. What a great way to make the meal interactive.
We're just lazy, you know.
So they're going to have to sort of tear at these and haul at them?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I noticed that a lot of people are really not used to touching food with their hands.
I can't help look at food and at what you're doing through my perspective as a chef. I mean, what do you say to a person like me or to the guests? How do you sort of get them to understand that this isn't like going to a restaurant? It's as if the people that sit at this table are going to an art gallery, really.
Well, you don't have to say so much. I mean, people can just explore it themselves, and if they feel like it's just eating food and they enjoy themselves eating food, then I'm happy too.
Sure.
I don't have to put some message on you if you just want to eat here and just eat nice food.
And these are the exact apples that got peeled for the necklaces. And for dessert, a world debut, chocolate cups filled with local cheese and stewed local apples. The cups are topped with a chocolate lid, then the guests gently warm them with a light from above, melting the lids and revealing the treasure within. Oh, is that ever nice? Well, thank you so much. It's been a real eye-opener.
Thank you.
No, it really has. The whole thing has got me thinking about some of the preconceptions that I have about food. And sometimes it's a good idea to shift perspective, so thank you.
And then you should have a sip of the liquor.
And this is a Dutch gin? Oh, I really like that. And of course you can eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
You don't need any more cooks on your staff, do you?
Well, you never know.
I could sleep in the loft or something.
We can make a franchise to Canada.